Hi friends, it's Belinda. This video is on location at Belle Lavande Lavender Farm. Today I interview Wendy and Terry Mack, who started the farm from nothing but a blank piece of land 3 years ago. It is now a beautiful farm with fields of lavender so beautiful and serene. The only thing you can't experience in the video is the amazing aroma of fresh lavender. So if you are in southeastern Michigan, check out their farm in person. Or if you'd like to experience some of their many products made from their lavender, check out their website at bellelavande.com. Enjoy, and thanks for watching Work From Your Happy Place. Hello everyone, it's Belinda and I'm here with a very special edition of our show today. We are on location. I have two really great guests here. I have Terry and Wendy Mack, who are the owners of Belle Lavande Lavender Farm, and we are here on location in Stockbridge, Michigan. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Terry and Wendy. Hello folks.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited, and this is our first time that we're actually on location, so how exciting is that?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day, beautiful background.
Gosh, and your farm is absolutely beautiful. And the lavender, this is its season, right?
Yes.
It's just now ready to harvest, and people are coming out here to your farm. And so tell us a little bit about the farm itself, and then we're going to go back and tell us where you got the inspiration for this.
So we have a 40-acre lavender farm. We have about 4 acres planted now of different varieties of lavender. So our season starts end of June. Some of them, different varieties, start blooming, and then through July. And then we get different spurts in August and September. Just a few plants decide to bloom a couple more times.
Okay. And so you really developed you really added a lot of nice features to the farm, and I know you guys have like all your little code names for different areas of, and where are we sitting right here?
This is Wedding Hill, as my wife Wendy has branded it, because eventually we'd like to provide a wedding venue. So this is the highest point on the farm, and it overlooks it all. So someday maybe somebody would actually maybe even share their vows up here. We'll see.
That'd be so special. And gosh, what a beautiful backdrop to do that.
Yeah, they can see everything on the farm.
It's just gorgeous. So tell us a little bit. Let's fill in the gaps of some of this bio. So let's start with, you've had the farm now how long?
3 years.
3
It's our
years.
first summer.
Okay, great. So let's go back. Let's go a little bit of backstory then. Tell us about kind of your journey to get here, and then what was the inspiration to start a lavender farm?
So during COVID, my husband and I went up north on a couple's trip, and we went into town in the morning and got a coffee, and there was a farmer's market across the street from us. So we shopped at the farmer's market, and we were just so touched by the farmer's market with everybody that makes the stuff or grows and sets up there and sells it to you. And it was very just relaxing and peaceful. And we left with our coffees and went and sat by a lake, and we decided we wanted to grow something or make something that we could sell at a farmer's market. And so we thought about it the whole trip, and then we came up with the lavender because it's very versatile.
Okay. And what I think is, now when I met you, so I had the pleasure of meeting you about a month ago now, and what great timing, and that we get to actually see all of this beautiful lavender in bloom. And when I met you, I was just under the impression that the two of you purchased a lavender farm. That is incorrect.
Yeah, it would have been a lot easier.
We purchased kind of cornfields. That's what these were originally. But the land had been feral for a few years, which means it hadn't been tilled. But no, we had to change cornfields into lavender fields, so yes.
Wow. So, gosh, that was a tremendous amount of work.
Yes, we had a vision when we saw this. We were set out for property.
And, you know, I always tell people about having a vision and how important that is. And, like, gosh, you had to really, when you have a blank piece of land, and it wasn't even blank, like you had to turn it into something.
Yes.
Gosh, like, what was that vision? How did you see it? Did it come out just like you saw it in your mind?
Yeah. And we wanted also location. We were looking for the right piece of property and a location that's a good spot for people to drive to. That's
Okay.
in a good area and the right piece of property. And this was the right piece of property. We just love the rolling hills.
The hills and the trees and the farmer that owned all this maintained a lot of these grass lanes, and we've got fence rows of trees and the hills and all that. The other land were just flat fields, so we settled on this. We knew it as soon as we walked past the fence.
As soon as I saw the wedding hill.
Because those rolling hills of lavender, they're just absolutely stunning, right?
You can't see the front of the property from the back of the property, and from the front you can't see the back. It's just amazing.
Wow. So, everyone has their superpowers, we like to say, and it's their skill sets that really have helped them with their endeavors and owning their own business. And what would you say that, I'm sure that the two of you have polar opposite ones, I'm going to guess, but what do you think your superpowers are?
I have a green thumb because I bought seeds when we first bought the property. I bought seeds off of Etsy. And my husband said, don't buy any more seeds. I read online that they don't do very well. Well, I'll show you my 2 rows. They're some of the biggest plants out here.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm the green thumb, and Terry?
I drive the tractor and move the dirt so the green thumb can do her magic.
There you go. What other skill sets do you think that I know I've identified one in you, Wendy, for sure, but what else do you think that has really sort of helped you in this endeavor?
I love people.
Okay.
And reaching out and meeting new people and learning has really helped me, and learning everything that I can about what we could do with our product. So a lot of people don't know that lavender is culinary, and we grow 90% of our lavender is culinary lavender. So you can use it in your coffee, your foods, and then you can also use it in products. So,
Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about those in just a moment. I would say that one of your greatest skill sets for sure is tenacity. Like, you don't take no. You told me that the other day as we were in the truck and we were going around this property. You said, I don't take no for an answer. No is not in my vocabulary.
No, I have a great product, and so I'm very confident, and so I don't like no. I want you to try it, and you'll love it as much as we do.
Great. So, greatest accomplishments. I think that's going to lead us right into the products. So let's talk a little bit about what do you think one of your greatest accomplishments is with this whole project?
In 2 years, we have planted roughly 8,500 plants, lavender plants, and all by hand.
We sought out education and learned and talked to a lot of different people, but buying the plants, getting everything ready, putting them in the ground, you got to have faith that it's going to work, because there's always a chance that it's not going to grow, it's not going to come up the second year. So that's just the faith part of it, that it was going to work.
Sure. So then you have taken that lavender and that concept, and you've really created some incredible products. Why don't you tell us about a few of those?
Well, we one of our favorites is our lavender lemonade.
Which is quite tasty, and we're enjoying here today.
And then you can just take some fresh lavender and some lemons, and it just makes it really pretty. We have our simple syrup that you can add to your coffee. You can actually take buds from the lavender and put on your coffee grinds, and it'll actually give you a lavender flavor.
Wow.
So, just when you squish the one little lavender petal, it gave you a lot of flavor.
Okay.
And then we make different products. We have a baby line, Bella's Babies, that we named after our black German Shepherd, Bella. And then we make lotions and a bunch of different really nice products with our lavender and our lavender essential oil.
Very good. We're really excited because you're one of our featured businesses in our summer subscription box. So all of our subscribers are going to be receiving your lavender hand cream. So we're super excited about that.
I'm super excited for them to try it.
Oh, it's going to be amazing for sure. So let's talk about anytime owning a business, there's always challenges. So, and Terry, I'm probably sure you have more insight on this, but what was one of your greatest challenges? And then how did you overcome that?
It's pretty simple. We knew there were rocks out here. Once we got started, we had no idea. I'm talking hundreds of tons of rocks, and a lot of those had to be removed by hand. We tried to use different equipment, different approaches to it. But it was quite a delay in getting planting because the lavender loves rocks because you need to have good drainage, but the equipment doesn't like it. But just pulling the rocks out of the field it is a huge challenge. We have bonus rocks.
Bonus rocks.
You can take any you want home.
Wow. All right. Now, you've also built a lovely butterfly garden I saw on the property the other day, and you've done some other things that is making it a really special destination, not just for you to grow this and then produce these products, but you really want this to be a destination for people to come pick the lavender or cut the lavender, and they can do that right now, right?
Yes. Yep. We want people to come out, have a picnic, get back to having a picnic and relaxing, playing some games, take a nap, read a book, walk around, enjoy the property as much as we do.
Oh, that's wonderful. So this is kind of our signature question of the show, if you will, and that is, what does working from your happy place mean to you?
I love cutting the lavender and growing the lavender. I love gardening.
I grew up on a farm being outside, and that's one of the things. There are a lot of different elements that led up to doing this, but someday I wanted to move back to the country, and Wendy and I both did. Wendy always wanted a bigger garden, so she's got a giant garden.
Got a giant one now.
I got my big butterfly garden.
Now, prior to COVID or right around COVID, you were laid off from quite a long-term career, right? At Ford, is that correct?
Actually, I worked for the car companies for a little bit, but chemical company.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
So, which the layoff was, it was related to COVID and that, but yeah, and being laid off twice, it's like, that kind of pushed us into starting our own business. If you don't work hard enough, the business could do poorly, but I'm not going to lay myself off.
That's right, and that's a really good point for entrepreneurs out there. You don't lay yourself off, right?
Nope.
Right.
You're in charge of your path.
Right, which leads us to a really great question, and that is, 3 tips for starting your own business. What would you say? And why don't we're going to do 3 pieces of advice for starting your own business, but why don't we give 3 tips for taking a vision, whether that's planting, taking this piece of property and turning it into something really spectacular. What advice would you give for somebody looking to do something along those lines, or something that they want to make and they want to bring to market?
So when we decided, figuring out what we wanted to grow, we wanted something, we could lose all our plants. If it's a really bad winter, we could lose them all, or we could lose a lot. So we needed something besides just growing. So being something that's versatile. Mm-hmm. So by having all these products and these food products and having a store, we can still flow. And then educate yourself. We educated ourselves on everything we could before we started the farm. Took some classes and we read a lot.
Michigan State University, and it had come out a couple years before that, but they offered an online 30-hour course on how to grow lavender. And it was weird that we just happened upon that, and we sat through it and learned a ton. And there were a lot of networked links to different farms that presented on that. But the MSU is the A campus for the state, so we took advantage of that and gradually got a certificate on how to grow lavender.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we talked with a lot of other farms and spent time on the phone and visiting and that. So, but a big part of starting in a business is we did write a business plan, and I came up with a great template, and there were hard questions you were supposed to ask yourself. And you listed, what do you foresee as the hardest part of the jobs? What part are you going to hate? Pulling weeds is another part. It's a necessity. It's required for the farm. So it asked a lot of pointed questions. Are you committed? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So it was just self-discovery questions. Are you committed, and are you going to stick with it? Because it doesn't happen overnight.
Right. Now, one of the things I think that you did that was very smart, and it's sort of that second stream of income, if you will, but it's also a second source of awareness, because until people know that this farm exists, it's hard to get people out here. And that was, you opened a storefront in downtown Plymouth where you can where there's a lot of traffic, right? So there's not a lot of traffic out here in this beautiful farm.
Right.
People are going to have to learn about it or research it or Google it or whatever. But when they go to your downtown store, they can shop from an array of beautiful lavender products, but they also get to learn the story about the farm, which brings awareness. So you've really created a double stream of income, but also a double stream of awareness. And that is one of the most difficult things for a small business to get is attraction.
Right.
And we do the farmers markets too.
Okay.
And any craft shows that we can, anywhere we can, to tell people about us and tell our story, we will do.
And that is key, right? Getting in front of people. I've been saying that a lot lately. If you really want people to be aware of your product, you got to get in front of them.
At the farmers markets, they necessarily don't want to buy a beauty product, a bath product, but they grab the card when they find out we're a lavender farm.
Oh, how exciting.
So I'm out there saying, well, would you like a lavender farm card? Really, nobody says no.
There you go.
So
Right.
they may not want a product that day, but they want to come to the farm.
Absolutely. So any other types of advice that you have for someone owning a business? Because so we got the growing and we've got the farm, and that's the big piece of this, but gosh, there's so many other things that go into running a business, and you got to learn to wear a lot of different hats, right? So what other advice would you have for entrepreneurs wanting to start any type of business?
I mean, there's a certain amount of luck involved. The choice of this land that we bought here, being out in this area, the farmers up and down this road are amazing. When they come and offer, you accept. So there's a guy 3 farms down, Gary, that he recognized me right away. I had worked with him at Hydromatic in Willow Run when the GM plant was there, and I was the only engineer on the line. That's how he remembered it from 20 years ago.
Wow.
So him and his wife, Marlene, retired out of that plant, and they came down to introduce themselves. So that's like the small world thing. He's got a big background in farming and that. We bought a new tractor, but a lot of old equipment. So he came down and helped me dial it in, do some repairs, and gave a lot of advice. So, I mean, you got to recognize good advice when you hear it. Well, his is rock solid advice. And the farmers out here are really supportive and just came right down. We're excited to see us like move in and try to get this going. I mean, admitted they had some doubts because there's not any lavender farms real close to here. Most of it is cattle, soybeans, and corn and that. But they were pretty curious to see it go. So, and now Gary comes down here every other day. It seems like he's just interested.
Because they're just curious, right? And they also want to see the fruits of your labor because they've got a little bit of a vested interest in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then your next door neighbor is running a vineyard.
Yes, that's going to be amazing when it opens next year.
Yeah, that's exciting. And they're going to, we're looking at having wine tastings out here, right?
Yep, and then we'll have wine tastings between the farm, and then we want to do events. We work together. Our properties just run together, so we just want to do events together too.
Oh, that's going to be so
Super
much fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a vineyard and a lavender farm? The only place you can get this right now is going up north to Traverse City, and so we'll be the first down here.
That is fantastic.
We're going to call this Little France because we got the lavender on these hills and there's a vineyard over there.
There you go. That's perfect. So in closing, any new and exciting things? I mean, this is all pretty new and exciting because this was your grand opening, right?
Yes. Yep.
You just finished your barn.
Yep.
And grand opening weekend, and first time that people can come out here and clip their own
Yep. So
lavender.
people come out and they walk up and down and they cut their own lavender. We've had people come out and take professional photos, and then this will start blooming so people could come out. We have maybe somebody having a family gathering out here.
Oh, fun.
So we can really do a lot.
Yeah. Well, what's your vision for 5 years from now?
This will all be planted with lavender.
Okay.
So when you look out, it'll all be lavender. And then the butterfly garden will be 100% done. And we're working on a food line right now. So there's a lot of food recipes that have lavender. People are sending me all the time from all over. I was just on vacation and I got lavender pancakes. I'm like, I know. Yes.
You have lavender
Yes.
pancake mix
Yes.
as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Gosh.
Within 5 years, or hopefully before then, we want to be a destination farm. So we want people, they'll come during the harvest season. it's only so long, but then, like Wendy says, a lot of it will blossom into the fall, just not as much. But we want people to come out and do picnics, and then we're going to do other events out here. We don't charge admission to the actual farm because we just kind of open our arms. We want people to come out and see it. And
enjoy it.
yes.
And then we
And
want to
then-
build a big barn.
Okay.
So the big barn will hold a small cafeteria. It will hold 50 to 100 people for like a birthday party, a baby shower, bridal shower, church gathering, Bible study, whatever. And then it will have a store.
Very
So,
good. Well,
yeah.
I'll be excited. I'm excited to follow this journey.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you so much for just all your hard work and tenacity and bringing something beautiful to this area.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for recognizing that. And I'm so glad that you got to come out and enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to all of our guests out there, thank you so much for joining us today. We know that you have a choice of where to spend your time, and we're so grateful that you chose to spend it with us today. I hope if you're listening to this on the podcast and the audio, please go check out the video on YouTube because you don't want to miss the beauty of this location. It is absolutely stunning. Make sure that you follow or subscribe, and then check out our website so that you can learn about the subscription box because you don't want to miss out on this beautiful lavender lotion. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time on Work From Your Happy Place.